My biological family has found my little brother's social media, and I am beyond pissed. I'm 24 now. I was 6 years old when social services removed me from my biological home. The official reason was neglect. The real reason was a lot more than that, and it's not something I talk about openly. Not because I'm ashamed, but because every time I have, it has cost me something. Sleep, appetite, months of progress in therapy. I've learned to be selective about where I spend that kind of energy. What I will say is this: my bio mom lost custody, and she didn't fight very hard to get me back. There were 3 other kids in the house. I was the oldest. I spent the next 3 years moving through foster care. 4 different placements, 2 different school districts, more caseworkers than I can remember. I wasn't a difficult kid. I was actually described as remarkably well-adjusted in one of my placement reports, which I later found in a folder my adoptive mom kept. That phrase gutted me when I read it, because I wasn't well-adjusted. I was just quiet. I knew how to disappear inside myself when things got loud. Then I was 9, and a family chose me. That's the only way I know how to say it. They chose me. Not a baby, not a clean slate, a 9-year-old with nightmares and a habit of hiding granola bars under her mattress. They saw all of that and still said yes. I've been with them for 15 years. They are my family. Full stop. My little brother came along when I was 13. He was born into the family, biological to them but not to me, though that distinction has never felt real. He is my little brother in every way that actually counts. He makes fun of my music. He texts me memes at midnight and acts offended when I don't respond in under 2 minutes. He's 11 now, and until 5 days ago, all he knew was that I had come to live with the family when I was small. He knew I was adopted. He did not know why. He did not know about the home I came from, the years I spent in the system, or anything about the people who share my blood. That was intentional. He's a kid. That history was mine to carry, not his. Then Monday happened. He came home from school and walked straight into my room, which he only does when something is actually wrong. He had his phone out already. His face looked the way it looks when he's trying very hard not to freak out, and my stomach dropped before he even said anything. He showed me his DMs. Some woman had found his private Instagram account and messaged him. She called herself my real aunt, said the family had been looking for me for a long time, said they missed me, said she just hoped I'd be open to reconnecting. And then at the end, almost like a footnote, she said what happened when I was little wasn't what everybody was told. That last line hit me like a wall, because I know exactly what that phrase means. I've heard versions of it my whole life, filtered through caseworkers and one very patient therapist who helped me understand something important. When someone says it wasn't what it looked like, they are not searching for truth. They are searching for cover. That sentence is not an explanation. It is a shield. Their shield, not mine. I sat on the edge of my bed and read the message 3 times without saying anything. My little brother stood there watching me, and I could see him doing the math in real time. Something about my face must have told him this wasn't a random stranger. He asked me quietly who she was. I didn't know how to answer him. I called my mom into the room, then my dad. We sat together, and I told my little brother more than I ever planned to, more than I wanted to, more than felt fair for him to know at 11. I kept it simple. I told him where I came from wasn't safe. I told him the people who should have taken care of me didn't. I told him I had chosen to cut contact with those people as an adult, and I stood behind that choice completely. He didn't say much, he just listened. My parents moved the second we were done talking. My brother's account locked down immediately. Every message screenshotted and sent to our attorney, every profile reported. My mom was on the phone that same night getting ahead of it legally. But that's not the part I can't stop thinking about. The part I can't stop thinking about is what my little brother said before he went to bed. He stopped in the doorway of my room and looked at me and said very quietly, "Why didn't you ever tell me any of this?" Not angry, just genuinely trying to understand. And I had nothing for him. Because how do you explain to an 11-year-old that you spent 15 years carefully building a life that felt safe? And that part of keeping it safe meant keeping him outside of the parts that weren't. How do you explain that protecting him was the exact same thing as protecting yourself? How do you explain to an 11-year-old that some people use the word family as a weapon?